lot of people talk about why TikTok and YouTube and Instagram are bad for us and soul-sucking, but they never mention the real reason, the deeper reason why all of us know that these things are not good for us, that there's something tragically sad about the world we've made where kids and adults are addicted to these platforms. And that reason is time spent on these platforms effectively erases life. It erases human lifespan in the same way that something like killing does. Because if you use TikTok, say for 2 hours, and everyone in your country uses TikTok for 2 hours, all on the same day, hundreds of hours, days cumulatively of human life have been erased. Because when we use these platforms, we're not emotionally impacted. We don't remember what we watched. We're not shaped in any meaningful way by the content we consume. In minutes or years later, we definitely don't remember what we watched. So what is it? It's lost time. It's gone. It's into the void of human memory. It might as well have never happened. And this means that right now, literally thousands of years are cumulatively being incinerated by these applications. Time in the most important era maybe in human history, where we stand on the threshold of getting to other solar systems, developing nuclear fusion, developing infinite access to resources, when we're actually within reach of a much, much better world where people don't have to slave in fields all day, where people don't have to form relationships with people that treat them horribly, where we don't have to have oppressive governments, where a bit of work could get us the rest of the way in the next couple centuries. We have at least a chance of that. And yet, almost as if the devil himself presented these things to us when we needed our time the most, he gave us technologies that would suck away that time. And not just waste time, destroy time. Time that you don't remember and that does not affect you and that you don't even really enjoy is destroyed time. You might as well be asleep. And obviously, sleep is necessary. Passive entertainment is not. And so, when we look at countries that should be prosperous and that need this time to move into the industrial era or to move into the space era, they're all probably going to stagnate if this isn't turned around. We don't just have a shortage of people in some of these countries, like Korea, where the birth rate is so low. Also, video games and some of these devices and mediums are specifically meant to attract intelligent, ambitious people. They have their hooks in the most in people that crave information, that crave novelty, that crave developing new skill sets. And so if all those high intelligence, skill set oriented people are wasting all of their time, are throwing their time in the fires of these applications, which are designed for nothing else but to make money for people in a few small technology hubs, then our society genuinely could be fucked. And I know it's fashionable to talk about these apps destroying society, but I'm not just talking about iPad kids being annoying or young men losing their essential masculinity. I'm talking about our society losing the cumulative time and the cumulative brain power that it needs to develop things like rocket ships and light bulbs and trains, the things that we need to move forward. A new sort of feudalism could really be possible if everyone is just wasting their time. In the same way that if everyone is nose to the grindstone, working in the fields, and doesn't have access to books, to time that you need to develop new technologies, then no technologies will develop. I mean, it took us hundreds of thousands of years to develop the wheel. It took us thousands and thousands of years to develop farming. It took us more time to develop even basic technologies. Why? Because everyone was nose to the grindstone, wasting time on survival. They had to work in the fields. They had to give that time up. They had to come home exhausted. We have the privilege of not having to waste all of our time, at least not all of us, but we're wasting our time nonetheless. We're burning time in the same way a medieval peasant would burn time. We're just spending time in a cycle of content consumption. And so our best people are gone. Our most important years, our childhood years, are gone. And we're all living like old retirees who watch TV all day. And a society can't function like that. I mean, God bless retirees, but if everyone just sits around and watches TV, we're completely screwed. There's no one to generate the value that allows people to sit around and watch TV. Someone has to be doing things. Someone has to be generating electricity. Someone has to be designing televisions. And if everyone is in the passive mode, there's no one to do the work. And we're screwed. That's all.